Hey, Dito, do you know what time it is?
I see, KT. Your swatch is as big as mine.
All right, in this episode of the Kita Anime Podcast, we find that the Fail Five are nothing more than just big dollar signs. The building collapses when Chi-chan confesses, and Attack on Titan leaves us on with a cliffhanger, or at least people hanging on a wall. All that more coming up. The show begins in 3, 2, 1. It's time for the Kita Anime Podcast with Dito and Ktdata. The Kita Anime Podcast is brought to you by Miku Dayu. Who doesn't love a Miku Dayu? Hey everybody, welcome to the Kita Anime Podcast. I am Ktdata.
And I'm Dito. And guys, I have no pants on.
I really didn't want to know that. But this is the podcast where we watch some anime and we talk about it, you know, kind of like a book club, except we're lazy, so we just read subtitles instead of actual things on there. So
I find subtitles very hard. Don't judge me.
I don't know the Englishes and stuff. So, you know,
English.
how are you doing today? I haven't seen you in like 2 weeks.
Good. I don't know how best to explain it better than good.
Other than I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa!
Yes, actually.
All right.
Very damn
Good.
close.
That's good. All right, guys, if you have never seen this podcast before, don't worry. You're not
Just
behind.
shut this off right now and go home.
We're actually one of the podcasts that require a little bit of homework before you actually listen to the podcast. And the homework is to watch the anime. So you're like, wait a minute, KT. I have no idea where in the world to get any of these. Dito, do I not have a solution for them?
Actually, you do. And guess what it is? It involves the internet.
Whoa. So just head on over to ktdata.net. Look for the show notes for this. This is episode 2 of the spring season, 2013 season, right there. And if you look down below, there's a button that says show more, or if we can just go down to the direct link, it has links to stream legally, might I add, legally, because most of these are through Funimation, Crunchyroll. Actually, I think those are the two that we mostly go through these days. And
I think this one's all through Funimation.
And they're all being streamed. No, one of them's Devil's a Part-Timers on Crunchyroll, and Attack on Titan.
Both I've been just watching it right off of Funimation. That's where I've been seeing it.
Yeah. Well, they're on both. See, you can go in and go watch them, you know, and then come back. Pause us for now. We'll be here. Dito and I, that's the nice thing about a podcast. We're in flux on there. All right, Dito. Are we? So, like, I'm warning you guys, there are some spoilers. We minimize them now, but never know when Dito and I might drop a bomb that you guys might not want to hear. All right.
We'll drop one anyways, whether you like it or not.
You're the one not wearing pants. So,
exactly.
Let's go on to our first anime right here. Such a slow intro.
Oh, here it picks up.
Lies. All right, our first anime is Ginga Kikotai Majestic Prince, or Majestic Prince for short, and it's brought to you by Super Premium Dry Sake for those times when sweets just don't cut it. With its rich fragrance and refreshing zing and fruity taste that explodes in your mouth, you can't resist this Super Premium Dry Sake. Get some from your local store today. What? Super Premium Dry Sake paid for that ad. Or I pretend they did it in my head.
Maybe they did.
All right, so last episode, we see the Fail 5 become the Fave 5. The mechs go all NASCAR on us. And we see some horrible acronyms like AHSMB, which I don't even remember what stands for. I think it's like Advanced Human...
Asabib.
I don't know. That's a horrible... Like, you know, at least Gundam rolls off the tongue. But Does not.
Oh, come on. Don't you want it to be like, go,
All right, so what happens, like we mentioned, they fail 5. They actually ended up saving a colony from getting destroyed. And then they get all this media attention and everything, but we find out that even though they've won a victory where normally it brings teams closer, they're still not meshing that well in the next few battles. You know, they got whipped once, and then the next time they go out for an ambush, and they're just nothing's going. You know, their instincts are kind of their fight or flight. Their flight instincts are a little overtaking their fight instincts, under which the Julia system needs, right, Dito? And you know, so
Yes.
What's interesting about this is though the high command of the I forgot what it's called, the GDF, the Global Defense Force. They bring in this Captain Komine, and he's the Vice Chief of Staff to kind of be in charge of one of their next operations, but he sees them more as dollar signs, right, Dito?
And this is the worst thing too. So they're getting their trash whipped, and you know, no matter what command is trying to tell them, it's like, you know, technical advisors, you know, anyone itself see that clearly the game their butt whipped, just like going, you know, recall and retreat and everything. It's like, we can't do this. You know how much money we spent on these guys?
I don't even get that. Like, yeah, and you're just gonna let them blow up in a flaming pile of aliens and Tronny.
This, we'll call them the, in this was
They're
Red
called-
Zentrani.
They're called Waguru, but this still remind me of Zentrani.
I want to call them Zentrani. I don't know about you.
I mean, and we'll talk about it probably in the next 2 episodes, but there's more similarities with Robotech in this than we all think right there. So luckily, Red 5 is about to get destroyed, but Team Doberman. Can I mention again? This anime seriously sucks with names, because the first team's Team Bunny, and then now you have
Team Rabbit.
Team Rabbit. Either way, that's not how you strike fear into your enemies. Oh no, the rabbits are coming for us, and now the Dobermans.
Remember what I said last episode? The White Rabbit.
How are they gonna know? These are aliens. I don't know what Alice in Wonderland is.
I was referring to my Python the Holy Grail. I mean, that White Rabbit kicked some serious ass.
But the Holy Hand Grenade. They had the Holy Hand Grenade. We don't have the Holy
Yeah,
Grenade.
but the Zentrani don't.
Alright, yeah. But, you know, yeah, and then one other interesting thing is we start seeing these guys have battle fatigue. Because remember, these guys, when the show started, they're still in school. They're in academy. Before everybody's like, no, it's called academy. They're still in academy, so they're like green. And, you know, it takes a toll when you're fighting these battles and they're just going battle after battle after battle on there.
Yeah, but during these exams that they're having, because of their, you know, their mental fatigue and everything, is that when they get their results, they don't say this to them, but apparently each one has a abnormally high excelling in a specific ability that they have. You know,
Some kind
like
of survival
data-
trait.
Yeah, it's very simple, but at the same time too, it's since it, you know, exceeds the human norm, it just kind of like breaks them down, because, you know, even though, you know, when you use your abilities too much, it just kind of, you know, your body just can't handle stuff like that. It's like seeing KT for more than a week at a time. You know, you just need a break.
Yeah, I don't know how you survived CS, man. That would have killed me.
Well, it's because we had Vasal and Rev there.
They're all sharing the burden. You guys
Yeah,
really don't want
and
to.
not- Well, you have to remember too. There was the Saki Bomb night.
Hey, that was not my fault. That was all Rev's fault. I'm blaming Rev on that one.
Great night.
All right, so they get their butt kicked again, and I actually thought
butt truck.
I actually thought that last battle would be the battle that kind of brought them all together as a team to, you know, fight as a good unit and all. I was wrong. Because normally by the time it's the third battle or so, the team like starts trusting each other, being able to read their moves and stuff. And obviously, like everything else in this anime, they're not copying Gundam. And yeah.
But I'm actually noticing a bit more like team gathering more than teamwork, because ever since Red 5, like saves, like tries to be the hero and everything, like they for a second had some like coming together. Like you could see a hint of it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
they still have attitude. So
Yeah, they don't know how to function with each other. That's the problem. And then so they're being sent back to the academy at the end of these 2 episodes right here because the all the mechs, like we're talking about Gundam Wing where Hiro Yui tries to blow up his suit every episode. Pretty much
Because
this
you
is
know.
what pretty much this is what happens. All the suits are like totally toast and they need total renovations and overhauls on them. So they're going
Yes.
back, and I wanted to kind of see what do you think the predictions are? What are going to happen when they go back to Academy? You know, obviously we know they're going to end up getting made fun of and everything.
Well, we see that they are now with their senpais, the team at Doraemon or Doraemon.
Doraemon. Her name's
I don't
Rin.
know why I said Doraemon.
Commander Rin. How'd you get Doraemon out of Rin?
I don't know, but they're the team that saved their butts. Is it Doran?
Doberman.
Doberman.
You know, like the
I don't know
dog.
why. I don't know where that's written in there, but anyways, Doberman. It's the 3-member team from Doraemon. I said Doraemon again.
Doberman. You know the dog? Woof woof.
Doberman.
Woof woof.
Yes, I'm gonna call him Doraemon. Screw that. Anyways.
Number 2 doesn't appreciate you not being able to tell different dog breeds. I'm just saying.
Good. Number 2 can go ahead and be mad at me all he wants.
Angry
I
at
don't
you.
care.
He's angry at you.
Doraemon. But anyways, with them being trained by their like seniors, I think we're going to see like an attitude change in them, and possibly they're going to have to come together whether they like it or not. So they're all going to be locked in a room together with one toilet.
How do you do your team building exercises?
Oh, that's just a random prediction. I just wanted to say because it's completely off key.
All right, so that's an interesting thing, and we actually learned a little bit of the history of Commander Rin and the mechanic. And you know, she feels like she's kind of failing him because they're like on there. So I'm really excited to see what's happening next because this anime, there's something about it still where I'm looking at it and I'm like, this is really not. It's a little bit different from the normal mold, but maybe we haven't been watching enough mecha animes of late.
No, we haven't. Plus, it's kind of like it's not slow, but it's not fast, but it's literally
It's
fluctuating.
medium.
No, it's not even medium. It fluctuates so much because you'll have like your really high parts where a high action and everything, but then you have your low parts where it's just like when they're all like down at their getting beaten down at the resort and everything, and then it's just a kind of mixture of the two where it's not quite medium, but it's literally a roller coaster.
Yep. All right. One anime that's not a roller coaster really and is nice and laid back is our next one, Meteor. And our next anime is Hataraku Maou-sama, or The Devil is a Part-Timer, and it's brought to you by
Uniso, Frontrunner, and the apparel industry. Go on. Get your next date with Ulisano outfit. Find Uliso at your nearest store today.
Ooh. All right, dude.
Like, I don't know why in the world it said like Unislo and then Unislow.
Unislo, get it? Get it?
Yeah.
Get it?
Got it. Good.
All right. All right, Dito. What happened in our last 2 episodes?
Well, first off, the whole world exploded from the Demon Lord. No, seriously. A Demon Lord works at McDonald's.
Hello, can I
The
take your
hero
order?
buys a burger from, and they both get shot at. Houston, a bike is down.
No. What was the name of the bike?
The Runnel.
I don't remember.
The Runnel.
Poor bike, getting shot by magical bullets too. All right, so I can't hear you, Dito.
Magic bullets. Can you hear now?
Yep. All right, so this is
Lost for a second, guys.
yeah, so this is a really interesting kind of turn. because you'd think they'd be kind of going back to the let's get out of this, back to the world of Isla something on there, but we have a love story, right, Dito?
I don't really want to call it a love story. No, it is. So, Chi-chan, Mao's co-worker, had to console him in about certain aspects, like, for example, the earthquakes that no one apparently wants to believe about, and hearing voices in her head.
Did you really buy that? You bought that story, seriously?
Yes. I mean, no.
Come on. That was a front just to get him on a date. I mean, come on. He's kind of bold. Let's be honest.
Well, I wouldn't say that too. Like, Chi-chan is pretty bold on that, but I think that if anyone here needs to actually knows what's going on, it's Emmy. She saw it right off the bat.
She did, and then she got all ex-girlfriend jealous on her.
That was awesome too, because you could tell that she is not quite
sane.
Yeah. Well, that's beside the point. You know, I'm not going to get into that details, but you see Mao and Chi-chan going out on their now appointed date because, you know, they confirmed it at the station.
Come on, Dito. It's a date. Let's not. This is a date. He's all dressed up. She's all dressed up. Everybody around them is spying on them. That's just how anime dates work.
Yes, it does, because, you know, things escalate so quickly in anime dates. It goes from saying, let's meet up for a talk. Let's go and get some coffee. Is this a date? Yes. I love you.
Oh, look, the whole restaurant just fell on top of us.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's what happens in anime, too. When you confess your love to somebody, the roof collapses on you.
It's the power of love. And so, you know, that's interesting. And this is the first time we actually see somehow that the demon lord, he's actually, some of his power came back, which is a really interesting thing, because they've been searching for months now, trying to figure out where in the world this where are they going to find their magical powers back. And I don't know why a building falling apart would do that. Do you have any ideas?
The weirdest part is the fact alone that he was saving people. So the demon lord is saving people.
It's all in the name of love, Dito. Love changes people. No,
even still, that doesn't seem right. You know, like, why would the bringer of all suffering, Satan, save people? I know what it is. It's because that the demon lord always likes to get under the hero's skin, because that ticks Emmy off pretty bad.
Everything they do ticks him off. Them being poor, him working at McDonald's. I love saying McDonald's, by the way.
Oh no, I think it's that, and also the fact alone that she lies about her age.
Wait. You never should ask a lady her age, right?
No, you don't try to. You just kind of stalker it.
What?
Yeah, you stalker it and try to. No, I mean, you don't do anything.
All right, whatever. All right, so, we actually find out that some magic is seeking into the world, because somebody is trying to form an idea link, and then
I'm not gonna go there. Anyways.
But it's kind of like how you aim mortars and stuff. You need some kind of target. You got to focus it somehow. So you got to send out a sonar, and that will target. And guess where that sonar landed?
In my backyard. Oh, sorry. Chi-chan. So all the voices she was actually hearing was from the other side, trying to communicate with them they never really discussed why they need to communicate to the other side. But in a sense, too, it apparently works. And she doesn't know what the hell they're talking about because she can't speak their language. So good job, guys.
I really wonder what they're like, because it sounds fun. It's like,
I can't help to think that somehow in there, it's kind of like backwards, because you hear their names and everything, and I kind of noticed that there's a bit of Japanese in there too, but it sounds backwards.
Should we do an episode of Ktdata Anime Podcast backwards like that?
So you mean we're gonna So that means we're gonna start with like episode 4 of Attack on Titan and then go backwards.
No, it's gonna say things like Niko no o on in ekishish ni wait, not eat no kataka.
Well, we were just speaking Klingon, guys, so I need a translator.
Chapok. No. Wow, that just probably showed up a little nerdier than I thought that would do.
Just a little. Yes, everything geek, guys. Everything geek.
And to be funny, I haven't read the manga for this or anything, but I actually kind of expected this next part that they show really at the end of this episode is Lucifer appears. I started to see a theme between all the names, right? Or am I just imagining things?
You're overthinking things. Don't worry.
Oh, all right. But that's going to be another exciting thing, and I hope they still kind of keep this laid back attitude they have. But
there's one thing we forgot to talk about too. That is there's actually a good backstory about Emmy. She is apparently a half angel.
Ooh, half angel.
Yeah, and to me, when I think of that, it's like you would think something majestic and everything, but then you get her. Like,
well, you could get Shauna. Well, you could get Shauna.
That's just a angry, small, lowly flame haze.
Does that not remind you of Emmy? Because that's what honestly Emmy reminds me of. Is Shauna got older? Is an older version of Shauna.
Not really. I guess there's similarities behind that, but Shauna's not half angel, nor is she destined to defeat the Demon King.
I said similar. I didn't say exactly the same.
I know. That's I'm just showing the comparisons. I'm not saying you're wrong. Yes, I am.
Yes, you are. All right. So, since we're already amped up in this kind of heated battle, let's just go straight into our next anime. And our next anime is Attack on Titan or Shingeki no Kyojin. And it's brought to you by Steamed Potatoes. Eat them while they're hot. Share half with a friend today.
Or get punched in the face.
One of the two. All right, so last episode, we see an attack of the Titans, and people are being eaten in the anime, and everybody has 5 gallons of blood when they...
Pressurized.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I go...
I don't know if people know what means.
They know, so why not...
Okay, I'm done.
All right. So, it's been 2 years since the previous episode right here. Eren is finally old enough to kind of go into cadet training for the Guardians on there. And so his first challenge, and this is the first thing that will make or break you, is being able to move in 3D space and using the mechanical gear that you see them flying around with on there.
It's called like the multinational maneuvers is what they're trying to call the I guess the unit.
You said unit.
I did say unit.
So he's having troubles keeping balance on this. Everybody else seems to be having fine. His sister, with Mikasa, she's like expert at it. She just like gets in and she's like ballerina floating in air.
Not even that. She looks like she's just kind of like bored.
Yeah. And the funny thing is like you can tell they've aged because they used to be little like tiny people. And then now you can tell that like Eren and Mikasa is actually a little taller than Eren in some of these scenes. I can't really tell because sometimes they put them in weird spots.
Actually, they are the exact same height because later in the episode you see a diagram of them all and like their like profile size, and they're exactly the same size.
Stalker.
Hey, I blame the anime for showing me that.
Sure, that's what you tell the judge.
I did. I mean.
So, and then it brings up this kind of interesting thing too, because they've had to the population, the human population has already had to abandon one wall, so there's only two walls left of the three. Um, and then we start to see people's different motivations on why they're joining the what is it, the Army Corps?
Um,
I
they
think.
just
Yeah.
they just call it like the cadet training. They don't
Yeah.
really. They just call it the core for now. So until
Yeah.
we can figure it out later.
And then so it's really interesting is that some people it's they have a choice: either join the Corps or go work in a factory. And working in a factory is like the coward's way out.
In a factory, you just
Yeah.
work on the fields.
Yeah, so you're pretty much people look at it and it looks like you're running away. So people kind of just do it. So they're like, yeah, I'm gonna go fight for God and country and all that good stuff.
You're talking about God and country. They fight for the king or become
King
food.
and country, that's what it is. King and country. Close
No,
enough.
it's king. Fight for the king or be food.
Um, and we're starting to kind of meet a little bit more of these characters because obviously, as much as Aaron wants, I don't think he can take down these Titans just by himself or with just Mikasa on there. So it's kind of interesting that we meet some of these characters like Potato Girl. Eating potatoes.
Yes.
Why not, right?
So, yeah, her name is Sasha Brownings. Brands. Anyways, I'm probably saying
Braids.
that completely wrong. Anyways, she's like one of the candidates in there, and as they're going through the rite of passage, she's eating a potato right in the middle of everything, and then like the head instructor kind of looks over there and just like, "Are you serious?" And yeah, this character like completely stands out from the rest of them. And if you're following anything on Attack of the Titans on the web, you already know who the hell we're talking about.
Yeah,
He's
and what's even more interesting about this is how time is kind of relative because this is already 2 years past. Aaron's still angry at the world, and then we go into the 5 years in the future after Aaron. This is their graduation night, and we learned a little bit more about the military forces. When you graduate, there are three different divisions you could join. You can join the military police only if you're in the top 10 of your class. You can join the garrison where that's where most of the people are, or you can be crazy and join the recon units, which are the advanced units. They're the ones that actually go out and try to attack the Titans instead of waiting for the Titans to come to us. Um, and what's funny is that as much as they're training to fight the Titans, this subject comes up really that's super interesting is that since you're the top 10, most people join the military police because you can become part of the royal guard essentially and guard the king. So you'll be in the safest part of this walled off world because you'll be in the center of it on that. So it's kind of this idea is like, why are we sending all the best soldiers to the rear of the line and just letting all our crappy ones go up to the front where they're going to die very quickly and not advance on there? So what do you kind of think of that strategy? Do you know?
Well, most people are going to join the military police because what they're, as they said, is that you're training to not fight. You're training to get safe. Hide behind more walls, hide behind people and everything. And what I'm seeing here is that all the so-called strongest elites are actually the weakest. The way that they depict this, because I mean, why send your good people to the back and then send all your meat popsicles to the front?
I'm starting to get the feeling like by the end of this, Aaron's gonna have to go kill the king. Cause so we haven't even met the king, but I get this like you get this kind of cowardice kind of feel where like the king's willing to sacrifice people and do these things where it doesn't seem like he's doing
No.
it for the interest of the city, but more for his own self preservation.
You're going to have to, because they spent with like 100 years behind a wall under probably the same king. So everyone has already taken their safety for granted up until like 5 years ago when the Titans broke through. So everyone has kind of been realizing they took their safety for granted, and all they want to do is go further into their turtle shell.
So yeah, they're essentially sticking their heads in the sand.
Yeah,
and
becoming a very shiny meat bicycle.
You really like saying the word meat, don't you?
Yes, I do, because in this anime, it's practically everybody's just meat.
Meat. This reminds me of what's her face from Ore Shora. Meat.
And Miku. No, but here's another thing too, and why I also say this is because Sasha also, they're at the top of the gates. Oh God, I think it's so freaking creepy.
It's not creepy.
Yes, I mean Kadayo is very creepy. It's 1/8 size.
She's not creepy.
Okay, so put that in a night. Now, go to someone at night, go to their bedside, wake up somebody with a small light underneath it, and then see if you can wake them up and tell me that won't creep the hell out of them.
I'm gonna try it on you. So.
This is the reason why I'm moving.
All right, what you're saying before I distracted you?
I'm just saying that oh crap, I lost my train of thought. Thank you, KT. Continue.
Explosions. All right, so unless Dito figures out what he was gonna say.
I do not remember what I was gonna say because when they're at the top and everything. Because literally at the end of this episode, I'm just gonna say it because this is the first time we've ever had an anime. Spoiler alert! But this is the first time we ever had an anime where it actually leaves us on a cliffhanger. Now, I think this is the first time we actually got a true cliffhanger on us because the round 2 is about to start.
We've had cliffhangers, right?
Not this epic. Not this kind of epic
Groping Crown?
Okay, Groping Crown, that was not really cliffhangers. It's just kind of like going, all right, next.
C3?
No, they didn't have cliffhangers in the middle. Like, when we get cliffhangers, it's usually like between the 2 episodes that we're covering, not at the end of an episode that we won't hear about until next 2 weeks.
So you're telling me the Attack on Titan creators know that we were going to do this for the podcast and decided to screw us over?
Yes.
Ah, okay. All right.
Yes.
So you guys are gonna have to come back and listen to hear what we have to say about the cliffhanger next week on there. So that's all I got right now, Dito. So we got to do all this wrap up stuff. So if you guys agreed with anything we said or disagreed with anything we said, please send us feedback at ktdata.net, or you can find us on all our social media sites like facebook.com/ktdatanet, or on Twitter at ktdata, or on Google Plus. Just search for Kita Anime Podcast. Ooh. On there. On that, Dito, you and I, we love doing this live because we get all the cool people that show up and everything. So we're all excited, and we all still like to play this fun game with Sparky, even though she's not here. So make sure
because as soon as I got on, she got off.
Oh, she's trying to avoid us. I'm sad.
She's not responding to me on anything, so we can try to get to a date with have her get on a date with KT. So everyone, bother her for that.
So our next episode is actually June 18th, and you can watch that at ktdata.net/live. The chat room's all in there. The videos are all in there. And then you can watch Dito's and I's faces as we bounce and talk. And
now, as KT bounces because I don't got a ball.
Yeah. All right. Dito, do you have anything to plug before we go?
Yes. For all those who've kind of been following us and knows about my incident with Good Smile Company's latest figure error. It was my Gold Rock shooter, my Gold Saw, my Black Gold Saw TV edition. The torso was defective. I just barely got my replacement from Good Smile Company, and you should be seeing a very thorough review coming soon.
Yeah, and make sure you guys check out ktdata.net. I'm throwing movie reviews up left and right because it's the summer season on there. Dito, always a blast to do the show, and I swear our time goes by way too quickly on there.
The fact is that normally when we start, we actually kind of start around now. So we actually had an early podcast today, surprisingly.
And thank you guys, chat room. I know you guys hear me. Thank you for listening at home or watching, whatever. Make sure we have audio and video versions. Check it out, ktdata.net. So till later, guys. Bye.